today let us look into what cloud computing is and how it has the history of cloud computing from where it originated and now what is the technology which is prevailing that people are using it in day to day life. So let us see one by one. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing means that all the computing hardware and software resources that you need to process your task are provided for you as a service over the internet by a vendor instead of you owning or maintaining them. So if you want to own or maintain them, then you the cost wise it is much more than comparatively you can get it higher the software or higher the uh, hardware or even the human resources could be hired. So that is what cloud computing does. It provides the services for the hardware, software, platform, and even human resources. So that we one by one we will see. Okay. So this is the diagrammatic representation. See, there is a office who needs the access to the internet or access to the internet. Maybe take it like that or data access. So they require a cloud provider. Similarly, an office laptop person they need some softwares to work on with. Then they are requesting for a cloud service. Likewise, everywhere the cloud service is being utilized. So this is a diagrammatic representation. Now let us go to the next one. It is the duty of the vendor, the cloud service provider, to develop, own, and maintain these resources and make them accessible to the consumer over the internet. So, for a cloud service to be accessed, you need internet service. Only through that you can they can serve us. They can provide their services. Okay, so let us see how it originated, from which year it originated. So the history of cloud, that's what we say, history of cloud. This is the diagram. Now suppose first generation in 1950s it was mainframes, then it came rise of the PCs came, then client servers architecture came, then hosted environment, then came cloud computing. So now 2010 and 2020 the cloud is being more popular. Okay, so initially it was from mainframes, that is they were a small localized infrastructure and individual computers used to run, and there was nodes working independently. Then after that came the rise of PCs, rise in demand of personal desktops. So decentralized computing, the birth of IT service industry in 1960s. Then came client server tech architecture, that is virtual private network offered. So demand for high bandwidth. So dot com, that's what we say, dot com revolution scheme. Then came hosted environment, that is IT infrastructure management or outsourcing. We used to outsource the person. There was a increase in virtualization. So that was in 2000. Then came to beyond 2010 and now 2020. It is emergence of service, cloud as a service, that is platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, like that. So networking also as a service could be, it could be also provided as a service. So collaborative computing and utility computing model came into existence. So this is what is the history of cloud computing. Then let us see how rapid elasticity, that is what is rapid elasticity means. Cloud services provide the consumer with the option of quickly stretching and releasing, that is the capacity of computing resources as per their needs as any point of time. So for example, without for example let us say, let us take without cloud and with cloud. Okay, so for example IT team would need a month's time to scale up with IT infrastructure prior to promotional events. In that case, the organization needs to purchase the hardware infrastructure and also maintain them even when they are unused during normal business days. So, in that case, they just have to hire for maybe 20 days or 1 month, like that. So, till until the project is complete. So, they do not take it for a 1 year period. They have to purchase the software and hardware, they have to keep it safe. Then, so the other time will be that there won't be any utilization of that. So in that time we need, just we have to hire only when we need. That is what is stretching and releasing. So now with cloud, what happens is additional servers can be added or released immediately as per their requirements. The e-commerce sites only needs to pay a comparatively lesser rent to the CSP. So this is what is with cloud. So whenever they want, they can use, and whenever they don't need, they can release it. So whatever you use for that, we can pay. So pay for whatever you have to. You are utilizing that. For that alone, if you pay, that is enough. So that is what is cloud. Now let us go to the next resource pooling. So when a small business like web designing studio wants to back up all their work related to data for a short duration of time during an OS upgradation activity, so they would normally contact their hardware or vendor and place a request for a required amount of temporary storage or hard disk storage. So this takes time, and also the resource pooling will be very it is a time consuming process. So instead of that, you just have to just make a request, that's all. So this is a diagram for that. So anywhere in a resource pool could be done from any part of the remote sites. So this is for example here, multimedia studio or web server for personal blog site, or even a developer needs some some software that could be also pooled. So this is what is resource pooling. Then let us take a traditional IT resource provisioning process. For augmentation or release of resources like storage capacity, would be required to create services, request tickets by filling up forms and calling IT support center for providing the services and all. But nowadays it is not so. So constantly follow up with the IT support team on status of tickets. So how you have to place a request first. For example, if you need any change in a software, you just have to place a request. Then the software person has to come. Then they have to do all the changes. So then they have to prioritize the request. Then they'll look into your problem. So this is not so in the cloud. So you just have to pool directly. So there is no need to waiting time is less. Ticket is not needed like that. So this is highly very easy and easygoing. That's why people are going for cloud nowadays. So resource provisioning in cloud services, the web-based self-service portal provided by Google for its cloud-based storage solutions. Like we have Google Drive, where customers can keep switching between 15 GB to the 100 GB to 1 TB storage based on their needs. So for example, you need not get a storage device, then you have to keep all data stored in it. Suppose if myself, if I'm storing a data, maybe take it as photo album from the year maybe 2000, or even in 90s 1990s. From that, if I have stored all the pictures or photo albums year wise, then I have to get a storage medium. Then I have to put all my photos and pictures in that, then store. So for that month, it is a totally a money consuming, and even time is required to purchase then store everything. But here the Google Drive is there. You just have to create a folder, and then you have to place it year wise folders, create, then put all the pictures uploaded in that. So whenever you need it, you can get access to it. So that is what a very easy one of the scenario that's day to day we are using it. So that's why I gave you that example. Now let us take, say this is a scenario: a developer who needs a month to build a simple application, for example platform, would definitely need Microsoft Visual Studio Suite. So the purchasing a cheapest license for 1 year validity would set him or her back to about $1,200. So using an instance of Visual Studio AI by Microsoft on its cloud service platform, Azure is there. So drastically reduces the cost due to metered billing. So using that less than maybe here it is in the US dollars 100, maybe more, even less in Indian rupees. So that is scenario one. Like that, you have another scenario, as I told you, photo album. So it for a family function that you want to share with your relatives. who lived abroad. So then what you have to do is, you before cloud, what we were used to do, where we were used to do is, you need to send a separate physical medium like prints or pen drives to your relatives. You have to copy everything into the pen drive, then you have to parcel that through courier, and then only they can get access to it. So it might take days to reach them. But now it is not so. You can just upload the photos to an Apple cloud based storage service, that is iCloud, we call it as iCloud, and provide access to all your relatives. So these photos are accessible instantly, so you have to just upload them, that's all. So this is the scenario too. So likewise, in day to day also, that you can use cloud. So there are cloud service providers now, like LinkedIn, Salesforce CRM, Pixlr, Azure. So these are some platform as services, like that, software as a service. You have a lot of service providers, so you can use these service providers for using the cloud services. So thank you. So the next class I will explain one by one how these services are being utilized. Thank you so much.